She didn't scream when they chained her. She smiled. They didn't kill Dracula. They took him. The wolves moved before the night could end. Silent now. Organized. No rage left in their eyes. Only purpose. He let them. That was the part no one would understand. They dragged him deep into the forest, beyond the place where trees grew, into something older, a ruin buried in stone and rot, a place where even the wind refused to enter. An altar waited there, silver chains hung from it, old, blessed, carved with symbols that burn just by looking at them. Dracula didn't resist as they forced him down. The chains snapped shut around his wrists. Smoke rose from his skin. For the first time in centuries, he flinched. Lucian stepped forward, breathing heavily, still wounded from their fight. "This is where your kind ends," he said. Dracula looked at him calmly. "If you wanted me dead, you would have done it already." Lucian didn't answer, because they both knew the truth. This wasn't execution. This was something worse. A sound echoed through the ruins. Soft, barefoot steps against stone. Dracula turned. Ilara stood at the edge of the altar, her face pale, her expression unreadable. "You shouldn't be here," Dracula said quietly. She tilted her head. "They said the same about you." Something in her voice had changed. It was still hers, but deeper, layered, like something else was speaking through her. Dracula's eyes narrowed. "What did they do to you?" Lucian stepped back. The wolves lowered their heads again, not in mourning this time, in obedience. To her, Lucian said, "Silence." Dracula's gaze snapped back to Ilara. "No," he said. "That's not possible." Ilara stepped closer. The air grew colder. "You always were slow to accept the truth," she said. Her voice echoed unnaturally, as if the ruins themselves were speaking with her. Dracula pulled against the chains. They burned deeper into his flesh. "Let her go," he demanded. Ilara smiled. "Not cruel, not kind, empty. She was never yours to begin with." The words landed like a blade. Dracula froze. "What are you?" he asked. Ilara stopped just inches from him. Her eyes changed. The red glow faded, replaced by something darker, something ancient. "I am what came before you," she whispered. The torches flickered out. Darkness swallowed the room. And in that darkness, something moved him. Not her, not the wolves. Something else. Dracula felt it before he saw it. A presence pressing against his mind, slipping through memories, tearing them open. Screams. Fire. The night he was turned, but something was wrong. He wasn't alone. There had been someone else in that room, watching, waiting. "You remember now," Ilara's voice echoed from everywhere. Dracula's breathing slowed. "No," he said. "You're lying." "I was there," she said. "Before you were reborn." The darkness shifted, and suddenly he saw it. A figure, tall, thin, not quite human, standing behind the man who cursed him, guiding it, smiling. Dracula's voice dropped to a whisper. "You made me!" The torches ignited again. Ilara stood there, but now she wasn't pretending anymore. Her body twisted slightly, like it didn't fully belong to her. Her shadow moved too slowly, like it was separate from her. "I made all of you," she said softly. Lucian fell to one knee. The entire pack followed. Dracula stared at them. "You serve her?" he asked. Lucian didn't look up. "We contain her." That word lingered. Dracula's eyes sharpened. "Contain!" Ilara laughed. A hollow, distant sound. "They tried," she said. Her hand lifted slowly. The chains tightened. Dracula screamed, not from pain, but from what he felt inside. Something was pulling at him, draining him. Not blood, something deeper. His will, his identity. "You're not fighting me," she said gently. "You're feeding me." Dracula's vision blurred. The centuries of power he had built were unraveling, piece by piece. "Why?" he forced out. Ilara leaned closer. "So I can become something even you would fear." The wolves shifted uneasily. Even Lucian. This wasn't control. This was survival. Dracula's strength faded, but something else rose in its place. Not power, memory. The faces of those he had lost. The man he used to be. The choice he made to remain a monster. His eyes opened slowly, clear, focused. "You made one mistake," he said. Ilara paused, curious. "You think I fear becoming nothing?" Dracula continued. His voice steadied. "But I've lived as nothing for a very long time." The chains trembled. Cracks formed in the silver. Lucian looked up. No. Too late. Dracula didn't pull away. He leaned into the chains, letting them tear deeper, letting the pain sharpen him. "You feed on monsters," he said quietly. "Then choke on this one." The chains shattered. The altar exploded outward. The force threw the wolves back. Ilara didn't move. Dracula stood before her, burning, broken, but free. "You cannot kill me," she said calmly. Dracula nodded. "I know." He moved, faster than before, not attacking, grabbing her, pulling her into an embrace. For a moment, she froze, confused. "You don't understand," she whispered. "I do," he said softly. And then he bit into his own wrist, deep, tearing it open. Black blood poured out, ancient, cursed, powerful. He forced it into her mouth. Her eyes widened. "No," she tried to pull away, but he held her tighter. "You wanted to become something worse," he whispered. "Then become me." She screamed, and not in pain, in transformation. The darkness inside her twisted violently clashing with his curse. The ruins shook. The wolves howled in terror. Lucian staggered back. "What have you done?" Dracula didn't answer. He just held her, even as her body convulsed, even as her voice broke into something inhuman. Because this wasn't victory, this was sacrifice. "If I am your beginning," he whispered, "then I will be your end." The light exploded, blinding, violent, and then silence. When the dust settled, the altar was gone. The chains melted. The wolves lay scattered across the stone. Lucian slowly stood. "Is it over?" he asked. No one answered, because at the center of the ruins, two figures remained. Ilara, unconscious, still, and beside her, Dracula, kneeling, head lowered, too still. Lucian approached carefully. "Vlad." Dracula lifted his head, slowly, too slowly. His eyes opened, not red, not human, empty, completely empty. Lucian stepped back. "What did you do?" Dracula smiled, but it wasn't his smile. It was hers. "I survived," he said, but the voice was not his. Lucian's breath caught. "Ilara!" The thing inside Dracula tilted its head. "Names don't matter anymore." The wolves began to back away, instinct screaming. Wrong. Everything was wrong. Because whatever had been inside Ilara wasn't gone. It had simply moved into something stronger, something eternal, something unstoppable. Dracula stood, and the shadows followed him, not as absence of light, but as obedience. "I think I'll keep this form," he said softly. "It suits me." Lucian turned to run, but the shadows moved faster, and the forest, once silent, screamed. Some monsters are born, some are made, and some are chosen by something far worse. Would you stay or run? Subscribe if you're not too scared.